In today's video, I want to talk about a build for Zane that's going to be all around like tankiness and defense, and I'm calling it ice armor because it's going to also involve a little cryo damage to get our skills back and doing a lot of AoE with cryo damage. But to start off, I'm going to go into the Undercover skill tree, and we're going to get ready for action, which is going to increase our shield recharge rate and recharge delay by 30% and minus 29% for shield recharge delay. It's going to be real good, just keep our shields healthy, which is going to pair real well with some other skills. After that, I'm going to get brain freeze, so every time we get a critical hit, we have a 20% chance to slow an enemy down, which will eventually freeze the enemy, which is going to help out with some other skills later on down the skill tree. Then right after that, we're going to get confident competence, so every time our shield is up, we're going to get 20% more gun damage, 33% more accuracy, and we're going to have our shields up most of the time, so we're probably getting the max benefits from this. Then immediately after that, I'm going to go into Rise to the Occasion, which is going to give us some health regeneration. Let's get us down to the bottom right here, and we get this health regeneration as we keep our shields up, which is our main thing we're going to try to focus on with the skill tree. Then right after that, I'm going to get Futility Belt, which is going to give us a damage reduction to non-elemental damage, kinetic damage, I guess. And so every time we get a kill, it's going to make all our elemental damage we take turn into kinetic damage, which is going to be real nice. So we're just getting 50% damage reduction, and we're not getting any status effects. Then right after that, we're going to get Hardy Stock, which is just going to increase our max shields by 30%, which is just a nice solid buff. And it's just going to help out in general with all these other skills. So then right after that, I'm going to come down to Best Serve Cold. So every time we get a kill, it's on a 3-second cooldown, we get a Cryo Nova, which is going to help just start freezing other enemies, start to slow them down, because that's the way cryo works in this game. It slows them down to begin with and eventually freezes them. So this will help start the process out and getting them froze. And then we're gonna get Calm, Cool, and Collected, which is just an insane skill. So every time we freeze an enemy, if our shields are full, we get health regenerates. If our shields aren't full, we get shield regeneration. If both of them are full, which is gonna hopefully be the goal of this build, we're gonna get all our action skill cooldowns reset and all our durations reset. That's just insane. Like, this skill is so broken, it's not even funny. And then right after that, we can get Stiff Upper Lip or Refreshment. I'm not sure which one to get, honestly, because the way this skill looks, it's supposed to match the damage you take, and it's going to give you damage resistance, but it looks like it's only going to be for elemental damage. Now if it is for non-elemental damage too, I'll put 3 in this to get 16% energy reduction for that, because obviously with this skill we're just only going to be taking non-elemental damage or kinetic damage. But if it doesn't work like that, I'm just going to put 3 into Refreshment, so every time we freeze an enemy, we damage it, we're going to get some health regen back. Now that we only need 1 skill point to get to the bottom, I'm just going to put in Nerves of Steel, just so every time we have our shield up, we're getting accuracy and handling. And the longer we have it, we're getting more benefits. It'll help out a little bit. I don't think it help out much. Then Distribution Denial is going to be real good because it's going to use our active shield mod and make our shield barrier, which we will be using, it's going to take our benefits from it and give it to us, and I guess through the shield. So I don't know if we have an amp damage, it's going to increase the amp damage even more that we already get every time we shoot a bullet through it. But if we do have the shield up and we have an amp shield, we're not going to be losing our shields. So we'll just be getting the amp damage for that, which is going to be insane. For the mods we're going to use nanites or some shite to have our health regeneration come up. We're going to have our shield recharge delay go down, and we're going to have increased reload speed. Then I'm going to use All Rounder just to, it increases our cooldown by 20%, but Calm, Cool, and Collected, it's going to just negate that. But this is going to make our shield go around us instead of just being in front of us, so we can block from all angles, which is going to increase, our shield will stay up longer. And plus, we're getting shield recharge delay right here and right here. We're going to have shields for forever. It's going to be insane. Then after we go to the Undercover, I'm going to come over to this skill tree, actually, a Hitman skill tree. And I'm going to take Cold Bore, which is going to increase our weapon swap speed and give us bonus cryo damage. So whenever we need to get our action skills back, we can just keep swapping weapons and popping cryo on people, and to get our cooldown back. And I'm actually not going to take the Sentinel. We're going to take the Clone, which I will talk about in a second. But we want this skill right here to get our shield and clone back. Excuse me. And then after that, we're going to take Salvation, which is also going to give us some life steal, which is going to help out with our tankiness every time we get a kill, which is just real nice. And then finally for this skill tree, we're going to get death follows close, so it's going to increase all our kill skill duration and increase their bonus by 25%. So with this is going to last longer, plus we're getting even more life steal. And if you come back over here, this is going to last longer. If we go on it, the futility belt is going to last longer, and we're getting even more damage reduction just because we killed somebody. And then after that, we're going to come back over here, and I'm going to get synchronicity. I can't pronounce that. My bad, guys. Anyway, that's going to give us 20% more gun damage per axe skill we have up, which we're going to have axe skills up all the time, so we're just going to get 40% more gun damage. And honestly, with this build, you know, we're going to be real tanky. We're also going to get a ton of gun damage. And then we're going to get Donnybrook, and that's going to give us even more health generation every time we get a kill, which is going to be buffed by death follows close. So it's going to last longer, plus more health generation. This is also going to health generate our clone as well. So we're going to have a ton of health generation perks. So after that, we're going to get quick breathers. So every time we swap with our clone, our shields are going to immediately begin recharging, even if they're even going down in the first place. And this is just, hey, if they're going down, we can swap and they're going to start recharging. Then we're going to equip our digiclone, and we're going to use binary system and whatever that skill is called. But anyway, so every time we swap, we're going to be creating cryonovas, which is also regenerating our shields. And then every time our drone takes damage, we're regenerating more of our shields. So as you can see, we're going to have shields up quite a lot. It's going to be insane. Like, it's going to be pretty insane, honestly. So all in all, we're going to have our shield, which is going to be the dome, and we're going to be getting a lot of shield recharge and health generation. We're going to have our shield and clone up at all times due to column serve cold. Then we're going to have all these skills just going to help with our shields having increased duration. We're going to have our health gen for our shields. That's just the first one of these. And honestly, if you want to take a point out of refreshment and put in this to max our health gen out, I feel like that's totally fine. That's totally viable to do. It just depends on your playstyle. We're going to have our cryo damage right here, starting to do cryo with all our guns. We're going to have our cryo novas, more damage reduction, more damage, 20% more damage right here. And we're going to have our shield, taking our shield mod and just making it even more strong. Then we're going to come over here, we're going to have more cryo damage, weapon stop speed, more health regeneration, making our kill skills last even longer. And then we're going to have more gun damage right here, more health regeneration, and then more shield skills. Plus our clone is going to be taking a lot of damage to decrease our shields even more, and we're going to do more cryo damage, cryonovas, like plus more cryonovas right here. Like, this skill tree is going to make Zane so tanky, it's not even funny. He has like 4 health regeneration skills, a ton of shield regeneration skills, plus all his action skills are used to basically tank for him, so he can't take damage. It's like, this is just going to be an unkillable Zane that also just does cryo damage, has a lot of cryo benefits. Like, this build is going to be real fun. I think it's honestly going to be really strong as well. This might be one of the stronger builds in the game, especially for late game, since we just won't be able to die. And it's gonna be real fun to play. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.